I want to go across to former Home and Finance Minister P Chidambaram. He's fought many times from Shivaganga in Tamil Nadu, one of the senior political figures in the state, understands the politics. Mr. Chidambaram, thank you very much for joining me on the Newstrack. I want to ask you about the Prime Minister's attack on Katchatheevu, attacking the Indira Gandhi government for giving away this important island in the mid-1970s to the Sri Lankans, saying that this is a betrayal. You ceded national sovereignty on this island, didn't realize the strategic value. Our fishermen are now having to suffer because of the omission and commission of the Congress government. How do you respond as a leader from Tamil Nadu, as a senior minister in the former UPA government? How do you respond, Mr. Chidambaram, to the Prime Minister's charge?
I think this is one of the rare occasions where the Honourable Prime Minister has not done his homework. Please advise him to ask for the RTI reply by the Ministry of External Affairs dated 27 January 2015. I believe on that day, Mr. Jaishankar was the Foreign Secretary. To an RTI question on the state of Katchatheevu, it's Katchatheevu, and the implications, the Ministry of External Affairs of the government of Mr. Narendra Modi replied that after negotiations it was agreed in 1974 and 1976 that the little tiny island fell on the Sri Lankan side of the international border line. And therefore, and I'm using the words, there was no question of ceding, C-E-D-I-N-G, ceding any territory of India to Sri Lanka. This reply must have been approved by the Foreign Secretary. Now, what has happened in the last 8 years, that suddenly Mr. Jaishankar has advised the Prime Minister, presumably advised the Prime Minister, to raise the issue of Katchatheevu, and he himself addresses a press conference, complete ignorance of the reply of his own ministry on 27/1/2015. Please understand the background of Katchatheevu. It's a tiny island. It is an island of about 1.9 square kilometers. It is not a fishing harbour, it is not a fishing base. It's a tiny island floating on the sea between India and Sri Lanka. The Indian fishermen are not arrested from that island. The Indian fishermen are arrested on the ground, the alleged ground, where they have crossed the international border in the high seas. India also arrests Sri Lankan fishermen on the ground that they have crossed the international border line. Now, this has been going on for 50 years, and every government has intervened and rescued our fishermen, just as the Sri Lankan government has intervened and rescued its fishermen. This has been going on in every government since Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, Narasimha Rao, Deva Gowda, Gujarat, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Mr. Vajpayee, and even under Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi has been in power since 2014. How many times have Indian fishermen been arrested? And how many times have Sri Lankan fishermen been arrested on the high seas, on the alleged ground that they have crossed the international border? The international border is not a land border. You can't mark it by stones or signposts. It is a notional border. It's an invisible border. And fishermen do stray and they are arrested. And we have rescued them every time. What is the sudden issue? What is the sudden provocation to raise it in the middle of an election campaign?
No, because an election, a very important election, is around the corner. B, the BJP is making a lot of effort in this election to try and break the chokehold of the Dravidian parties over Tamil Nadu politics. And the Prime Minister clearly seems to think that this is an issue which has electoral relevance and traction in Tamil Nadu, which is why he's taken it up in this big way, in the hope that it resonates, it puts the Congress and the DMK on the back foot and gives the BJP something with which they can make a mark in the minds and hearts of the voters of Tamil Nadu.
You have admitted or you have conceded that this is being raised purely for electoral reasons. The BJP may make a big issue out of this, it will get a big zero at the elections.
No, but the fact is that the BJP is trying something big here. Just purely from a data cephalogy analysis perspective, they are looking at the current state of Tamil Nadu politics, which is largely Dravidian DMK, and they seem to believe that they can rise above this by seeding or invoking, re-energizing Hindutva pride, making people feel that they can rise above local Dravidian affiliations and vote for a larger national cause. From Kashi to Sangam, the whole idea is that Tamil Sangam, Kashi, they're trying to link the whole thing in a way that the politics of Tamil Nadu comes closer to the politics of states in the heartland.
Sitting in Delhi, if you want to believe the yarn that is spun by the BJP, you're welcome to do that. I am sitting in Tamil Nadu. I am intimately aware of the situation on the ground. The BJP will get a big zero in Tamil Nadu in terms of seats. Its vote share may increase because it's got a couple of allies, but I'm pretty confident they will not win any seat.
No, but I want to draw you, Mr. Chidambaram, into the effort that is at play, because the Prime Minister himself, just look at more than 7 days he spent just in Tamil Nadu at a time when he could be campaigning in other parts of the country as well, and unless they saw some purchase, some traction, some hope, he wouldn't make that effort, right, very clearly. So the idea is that you can get people in Tamil Nadu to rise above this Dravidian binary AIDMK versus the DMK, and it's a deeply religious society where Hindutva hasn't been the dominant theme, but Hinduism is strong, and they're hoping to tap into that to break the mold of Dravidian politics. That's the big idea. Do you see it play? Do you think that by 2031, as the BJP thinks that BJP could be a formidable force in Tamil Nadu politics, Mr. Chidambaram?
They are welcome to their grandiose dreams. The Hindu identity in Tamil Nadu is very different from the Hindu identity in northern Hindi-speaking states. Our Hindu identity is secular. Our Hindu identity embraces all castes. Our Hindu identity does not discriminate against Muslims and Christians. In Tamil Nadu, the Christians, Muslims, Hindus and other communities nearly all dress alike, eat the same food. In fact, when I hold a party meeting, I cannot distinguish between one worker or another worker on the ground he's a Hindu or Muslim or Christian. We live together. That is the way the Tamil society is worked, and we know that the BJP is trying to intrude into this haven of brotherhood and peace with its divisive slogans. At every meeting, we are warning against the BJP's divisive agenda, its hate campaigns, its hate speeches, its attempt to divide Hindus and Muslims, Hindus and Christians, and its ravages against Muslim places of worship and Christian places of worship. That is point one. The second one we are pointing out is that the BJP is driven by an authoritarian goal. It's clear the kind of repression that they've unleashed against the opposition parties. I can list a whole lot of them, the latest being the humongous tax demands on the Congress party. The idea is to cripple every Congress party. Congress Mukt Bharat is being seen. They were saying it in words, now they are putting it in action. But it's not easy to quell a 139-year-old party by these inspired actions. We will resist them, and the people of Tamil Nadu are ready to resist the BJP's intrusion.
Mr. Chidambaram, thank you for joining us with your perspective on the Newstrack. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.